Hello and welcome to Facebook Live with Integrated Wellness Clinic. I'm Courtney.
I'm Ellen.
And we are going to talk today about food as medicine for the gut. So
gut health.
Yeah, food as medicine's a great topic, and we might do a couple of sessions on how to get nutrients through the diet that actually help heal us and repair us. But today we're going to focus on foods that heal the gut. There's a lot of fun stuff we can do right from the outset. It could even be things lurking in your pantry you can use from today. So we'll dive into that. If this is the first time you've tuned in, we run little live info sessions on all sorts of topics. If you ever have a topic that you have a suggestion for, please hit us up on our Facebook page. The Integrated Wellness Clinic, we're filming here live from Mooloolaba, because we moved from Budrum. See, I just wanted to see if you're listening. And we're in the beautiful Mooloolaba on the Sunshine Coast. We have offices in Caloundra, on the Gold Coast, and in Brisbane. So we do Skype, we do phone, we do all sorts of appointments. We have in-house psychologists, counsellors, an integrated doctor and GP, a bunch of naturopaths and nutritionists, and a whole hub of support and team that can really essentially address any of your health concerns holistically. So naturopathically, we look at the underlying issues, we use integrative pathology testing, we work with your GP, and we really just do that whole person approach. We think about how you live, how you feel, how you eat, and we encompass all the things that might be limiting you to your best self.
Love it.
Right, so today, gut health. Ellen, what have you got for us?
So let's talk about, first off, the main one that everyone knows about probably. Apple cider vinegar.
Yep.
So things that you can use it in, why we use it, how to use it, things like that. So probably the number one thing that I like people to use it for is to warm up all of those digestive acids and juices. So even just doing a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar in a bit of room temperature water in the morning, just like a morning shot, can be really helpful. Otherwise, I use it in salads with dressings as well, so you can mix it with things like lemon juice, tahini, olive oil, things like that, and it makes a really nice vinegar dressing. Anything else? You can use it, everyone uses it for everything.
Look, if we were to talk about, we could talk about apple cider vinegar for the whole episode, but it's very cleansing and alkalizing. It's used as a hair wash, it's to refresh the hair, the skin, on bites, on skin tags. My goodness, it just goes on and on. But if you've ever tried it and you're already thinking, oh, I don't like apple cider vinegar, start small and build up. A teaspoon even, and dilute it a lot. And then when you get really confident with it, you'll really start to enjoy the benefits that you feel. And my patients will tell me, oh, I feel so much better. It can get the bowels moving. It can really essentially, because it's stimulating acid and enzyme production, which is why we use it first thing in the morning, it can even help a sluggish appetite. It's certainly going to allow you to get the best of the foods you're about to eat, and that's going to enhance your nutritional status, and that's got to be boosting your energy levels just by simply having some apple cider vinegar in the morning. It's great. We love it.
So get onto that one. Next thing we can use is a whole bunch of antimicrobial herbs from your garden. So if you have a herb garden, you can use so many different things. So main things that I would like to use are things like oregano, basil, thyme, rosemary, garlic, lemon, all of these things. So we have recipes for different kinds of tonics that you can make up and keep in your fridge and do little shots of. But you can use them in your cooking just for garnishing vegetables and things like that as well. So there's a lot of research behind specific kinds of herbs and how it works against different kinds of bacteria, yeast, parasites in the gut to actually be able to reduce it and inhibit the growth of that bacteria. So those are things that we do specifically for patients, but there's so many things you can do for preventing as well to help with that. Other kinds of nutrients that we can use are things like broths and gelatin. So at the clinic we do have all of the broths and gelatin in powdered forms that you can use. but you can of course make your own broths, whether it's bone broth or vegetable broth too. So what kinds of things would you look at? Do you make broths yourself, Courtney?
Look, I'm time poor with a little baby at home, so I'm just going to have full confession here, not at the moment, but it's certainly something that I always tell my patients how easy it is. Slow cooker, big saucepan, water, the bones from the butcher, the carcass from the roast chicken, the fish bones from your fresh catch, or again vegetables. It's about the length of time simmering on a low heat to extract the nutrients and the goodness and the constituents from, in particularly the animal bones, but other benefits. It's that slow process that draws the nutrients into the water, that once you strain everything off and you sip that incredibly nourishing and healthful liquid and broth, that the process itself is almost therapeutic. It's really just being a little bit organised, popping down to local butcher or fishmonger, and then just, I mean, a slow cooker is the safest way because it's designed to be on for hours and hours on end. You can turn it off overnight and turn it back on, 48-hour type thing, but you almost can't go wrong.
You can't really stop it up.
No, I mean, even a 12-hour slow cooker, even a 6-hour is going to have some benefit. If you're thinking for the little ones and you don't want the things tasting too strong, etc., my son will drink cooled bone broth. I've learnt this about him. We love warm things, warm tea, it's our jive. He doesn't get it. He was like, ugh, this is weird, and I was really disappointed. The son of a naturopath not drinking his bone broth, but when it cooled, I snuck it in his water bottle, and he guzzled the whole thing all day. So any way you can get it into you is going to be a benefit, and now I've found that out, he's going to be all the little bone broth child.
Yeah,
but
cute.
it's the nutrients in the bones, the typical classification is called a glycosaminoglycan, but it's really that dense nutrient that is used to knit together the mucous membranes and restore that all of the integrity of the digestive system in abundance, and as well as all of the other vitamin component and alkalizing component, because a lot of the times people's gut health stem from sluggishness, poor ability to absorb and digest, and acidity, and all those things kind of go hand in hand. And essentially everything we're talking about today could be considered as alkalizing, antimicrobial, antibacterial, nourishing, and anti-inflammatory. So, you know, I mean, look at us. We should be sipping bone broth right now. But it's so exciting to get involved in. Do you do your own bone broth, Ellen, on the spot now?
No.
What?
No, sometimes.
But you have, yeah.
Yeah. But I think because we know that the quality of the powders are quite good, is that we actually are fine to have that as well. So it's something that we have in the office all the time. But another thing that we use is the gelatin powder. So that's something that kids love, is because you can literally just make jelly with it.
Gummy bears.
You can make all those kinds of treats and desserts, and it works just like the active component in bone broth is to work on healing and sealing the gut. So you can use it just like you would gelatin from the store, but this is better quality beef bone, grass-fed, all of that.
The gelatin in the cooking aisle, I've recently learnt, has been using a chemical process to extract and then bleached. So none of the original benefits are there, and it essentially across the board, my mantra is you get what you pay for. If it's a couple of dollars and it's in the cooking aisle and it does the act of thickening something, but it does not have the therapeutic benefits that the more expensive but much more beneficial bone broth powders have. And yes, my son had the powder, actually, if anyone was wondering, because it's just as beneficial. I have no problems giving him the powdered version, because in the modern world we really need to access what works for us. And as much as I will go back to making bone broths one day, it's about using what works and knowing that there is an alternate homemade option and a very really, appropriate, quicker option. And essentially here as naturopaths, we call those functional foods. They're not quite a supplement, you don't need a prescription or a professional to give you the quantity or dosage. They're often available at the retail end, so you can get them at the health food stores and the supermarkets. And a functional food is really just as good as the food as medicine if you're making it from scratch.
Yeah. Another thing that we use a lot in the clinic is aloe vera juice. Love it because it doesn't really taste like anything, but it has huge benefits on the gut. So it can work to move the bowels, but it can also work to heal and seal and soothe the gut as well. So that's something that's really easy to give to kids as well. And another thing that we use for cooking is ghee. So ghee is a great way to be able to heal the gut too, but it also works on reducing inflammation in the gut. So it is a form of butter, but it's a clarified butter, so it doesn't have the same effect on people who are sensitive to things in dairy and can use it a lot easier. So you might have heard of it. People use it in bulletproof coffees. It's used a lot in Ayurvedic medicine as well, because cooking it with the herbs and spices at the start of the actual meal helps with the extraction of all of the important constituents from the herbs. So that's another thing that you can just use in every day.
So the dairy origin of ghee, the process of the clarification really has created the end product of the ghee is just the fat of the butter, which is the best part, the lauric acids and the antioxidants and the anti-inflammatory components. And the process has just naturally separated the proteins and the sugars. And in clinic, when we do pathology testing, and particularly with myself, I cannot tolerate milk, I cannot tolerate cream or butter or other dairy foods, but I tolerate ghee for the very reason that it's just the fat, it's just the goodness, and it's not the proteins or the lactose sugars that I'm intolerant to. So for anyone who's been apprehensive about getting into ghee because of their dairy intolerance, give it a go. I would highly be surprised if anyone's going to have an adverse reaction, because it's just the goodness left in it. The same thing, if you buy it in a store, it's quite expensive because the process it's gone through, but you can clarify it at home. You can heat it and you can see the foamy bit and then the liquidy bit, and you can separate it that way as well. There's lots of info online to do that yourself.
Cool. Well, that's a bit of an overview of gut healing foods that you can use. If you have any questions, just type them in the comments and we can get back to you. And if you have any requests for next week's Facebook Live, just write them in the comments too, and we'd be more than happy to answer them. But thank you for listening. Have an amazing day.
Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.